Today we have a look at 7 of the toughest creatures in the animal kingdom. You won't believe how strong and resilient some of them are. Number 7. The Snow Leopard. A species of large cat, also known as Panthera Uncia, the snow leopard lives in the high, rugged mountains of South and Central Asia, in areas ranging from Afghanistan to Kazakhstan and Russia in the north to India and China in the east. They inhabit rocky outcrops and ravines and steep cliff areas at altitudes of 9,800 to 17,000 feet. These strong felines are perfectly adapted to the rough environment they inhabit. The snow leopard is primarily known for its beautiful thick fur with a white, gray, or soft yellowish coat and ringed spots of black on brown. This pattern acts as a camouflage for their prey, which mainly consists of wild goats and sheep. Unusually among cats, they also consume a considerable amount of vegetation, including twigs and grass. While on the hunt, which usually takes place at dusk, snow leopards stalk their prey and ambush it from heights of 20 to 50 feet. Mating pairs are known to hunt together. Snow leopards are capable of killing prey that exceeds their body weight by up to 4 times. They are commonly the apex predators of their environments. Their powerful hind limbs enable them to leap for up to 30 feet, which amounts to more than 6 times their body length. They also have very large paws that are completely covered in fur and which prevent them from sinking into the snow while offering protection against the cold. Their long and flexible tails are covered in thick fur and help them maintain their balance over rocky terrain. Unlike other big cats, snow leopards have gray or light green eyes. Due to the fact that they live in some of the most remote areas in the world, these solitary animals are rarely seen in the wild. They are also considered to be an endangered species, with an estimated number of 3,500 to 7,000 of them still living in the wild. Global warming, loss of food resources, and the fact that herders will kill snow leopards to prevent them from attacking their livestock are among the main reasons behind the species' endangered status. Number 6. The Komodo dragon. With an average length of 8 to 9 feet and weighing up to 200 pounds, Komodo dragons are the largest living lizards in the world. They have flat heads, bowed legs, and long, thick tails. They are armed with long claws, and their rough and durable skins are reinforced with bony plates called osteoderms. These animals have several features that make them impressive predators. According to the Smithsonian Zoo, the Komodo dragon's keen sense of sight enables it to see objects located at distances of more than 985 feet away. However, this gigantic lizard primarily relies on its sense of smell to detect food. Using its forked tongue, it samples the air. Afterwards, the airborne molecules are analyzed by special organs located on the roof of its mouth. If the smell is more concentrated on the right tip of the tongue, the Komodo dragon will know that its prey will approach from the right. They are formidable hunters, capable of taking down large prey such as deer, carrion, water buffaloes, and even humans. Their serrated teeth, which are similar to shark teeth, enable them to easily shred through their prey, despite the fact that for a brief period of time, they can run up to 13 miles per hour. Their preferred hunting approach is ambushing their prey from a stealthy position. They spring up on their prey, using their large feet to knock it over. Then they start biting into it, reportedly being able to eat nearly 80% of their body mass in a single feeding. According to National Geographic, even if the victim escapes the dragon's serrated teeth, it has a high chance of dying from blood poisoning, as the lizard's saliva reportedly contains over 50 bacterial strains. The lizard then tracks down the remains using its exceptional sense of smell. Number 5. The dung beetle. Despite usually being only around half an inch long, the dung beetle is capable of some extraordinary feats. When considering the strength to body weight ratio, the dung beetle is the strongest living creature on Earth. The TAURUS scarab is a species of dung beetle where the male can pull objects that weigh up to 1,141 times its own body weight. That is the equivalent of an average-sized human being pulling weights of over 80 tons. Dung beetles may be found on every continent around the world, with the exception of Antarctica. As their name indicates, they primarily feed on animal excrement. In one night, this insect can bury dung 250 times heavier than its own body weight. Dung beetle species are divided into three categories: dwellers, those that simply live in manure; rollers, beetles that roll the dung in round balls, which are then used as breeding chambers or as a food source; and tunnelers, those that bury the dung where they find it. Researchers have found that some dung beetle species orient themselves and navigate using the Milky Way. This makes them the only known non-human animal that does this. The SCARABEUS zambacinus is an African dung beetle species that navigates using the polarization patterns in moonlight. The SCARABEUS SACER and other dung beetle species were given a sacred status in ancient Egypt. They were viewed as being connected to Khepri, the god of the rising sun, who, according to mythology, creates himself out of nothing. The ancient Egyptians believed that the dung beetle reproduced by depositing semen into the dung ball, and that there were only males in the species. In ancient Egypt, the scarab was also a popular funeral symbol linked to the theme of death and rebirth. Number 4. The saltwater crocodile. The largest of all known living reptiles, the saltwater crocodile is a hyper-carnivorous apex predator with a broad distribution around the world. They may be found in areas ranging from India's eastern coast throughout Southeast Asia and the north of Australia. They mainly inhabit rivers, marshes, and lakes, but they have also been known to travel long distances at sea due to the fact that they are excellent swimmers. Male saltwater crocodiles can reach up to 23 feet in length, while weighing almost 2,600 pounds. They have one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, reportedly being able to generate a force of 7,700 pounds per square inch. Salties, as they are often informally referred to, have a valve at the bottom of the mouth, which seals it off from the throat, enabling them to open their mouths underwater. They are formidable ambush predators. With only their eyes and nostrils above the surface, saltwater crocodiles lurk close to the edges of the waters they inhabit. In a moment, they snap and lunge at their prey, propelled by their strong, muscular tails. They can reportedly leap as high as 7 feet. They use their massive jaws and sharp teeth to bite into their prey, which they either swallow whole or drag underwater to drown. When killing larger prey, the crocodile will engage in a behavior known as the death roll. This means that once the saltwater crocodile drags its victim into the water, it will use its own body weight and advanced swimming ability to roll over and over again, twisting and turning its prey until the limbs separate from the torso, or the torso breaks down into smaller chunks, which the crocodile can then swallow whole. The death roll usually means certain death for any prey trapped in the jaws of a saltwater crocodile. Number 3. The wolverine. Even though wolverines are the largest members of the Mustelidae family, their proportions rarely exceed those of a medium-sized dog. However, wolverines are remarkably strong and ferocious. They may be found in the subarctic alpine tundra and boreal forests of the northern hemisphere, in the U.S. state of Alaska, northern Canada, in the west of Russia, Siberia, and mainland Nordic countries in Europe. They are known primarily as scavengers. Their stocky and muscular bodies, strong jaws, and sharp, crampon-like claws make them versatile and powerful predators. There have been documented instances where wolverines have taken down prey larger than themselves. Examples include elk, bison, moose, and caribou. There has even been one account where a wolverine killed a polar bear, which is a remarkable feat, especially when considering the fact that polar bears are the apex predators of their environment. Wolverines are also good climbers and can travel 15 miles over a 24-hour period in order to search for food. They also have a keen sense of smell, being able to detect their prey even when it is buried under 20 feet of snow. This is why Wolverines have been known to dig into burrows and kill animals while they are hibernating. Their strong jaws enable them to chew through the bones and even the teeth of their prey. These omnivorous animals have been known to use the snow as refrigerators with the purpose of stockpiling meat and keeping it fresh. When food resources are scarce, Wolverines will return to the stockpile to eat. Number 2. The honey badger. Honey badgers have been described as the most fearless creatures in the world. They are the largest species of terrestrial mustelids in Africa. They may also be found in Southwest Asia or in the Indian subcontinent. Adult males typically measure around 27 to 42 inches from head to tail, with a shoulder height of 9 to 11 inches and weight from 20 to 35 pounds. The sides of their lower bodies and heads are pure black, and their upper bodies are covered by a large white band that goes from the tops of their heads to the base of the tail. Primarily a carnivorous species, the honey badger does not have many natural predators. This is mainly due to its ferocious defensive abilities and very thick skin that protects it from the teeth and claws of other predators. Its durable skin is also remarkably loose, enabling the animal to twist and turn freely within it, thus helping it avoid capture. The honey badger's body seems to be perfectly designed for fighting. The skin around its neck is 0.24 inches thick, its ears and eyes are small, and it has strong claws that are shorter on the hind legs and much longer on the forelimbs. Its skull has a very solid build, with a broader brain case than that of a dog's. Honey badgers are predominantly solitary animals that live alone in the holes they have dug. They are skilled diggers, capable of making tunnels into hard ground in less than 10 minutes. During breeding season, they may hunt together, and even though hunting may occur at any time of the day, they tend to become nocturnal in developed areas with large human populations. Their powerful jaws enable them to easily bite through tortoise shells, and they often kill and eat snakes, even large and highly venomous ones such as cobras. They devour their prey in its entirety, including feathers, skin, flesh, hair, and bones. Their name comes from their preference for bee honey, and they will often search for beehives in order to acquire it. Honey badgers are notorious for their toughness, ferocity, and strength. When escape is impossible, they will fight much larger predators, such as hyenas or lions. Honey badgers are also considered to be intelligent animals that have exhibited a capacity for using tools. Number 1. Tardigrades. Also known as the water bear or the space bear, the tardigrade is widely considered to be the most resilient animal on Earth. It is an almost microscopic creature, usually less than 1 millimeter in size, with a scrunched up head and a plump, long body. It has 8 legs and 4 to 8 claws on each of its hands. Water bears mainly survive by eating fluids and sucking the juices out of moss, lichens, and algae. According to the BBC, some tardigrade species are carnivorous and even cannibalistic. What makes the water bear nearly indestructible is its ability to survive in almost any habitat. Although they typically prefer to live on moist pieces of moss and sediment at the bottom of lakes or in other wet environments, research has proven the wide range of situations and extreme temperatures that water bears can survive in. They can withstand temperatures higher than 300 degrees Fahrenheit and lower than minus 458 degrees Fahrenheit, which is close to absolute zero. They can survive boiling liquids, radiation, and extreme pressures, 6 times greater than those at Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, without any protection. A 2007 experiment has revealed that for at least 10 days, these creatures can survive the combined effects of solar UV radiation and the vacuum of space. Water bears can also go without food for more than 30 years. In many cases, their survival is ensured by the fact that they enter an almost death-like state named cryptobiosis. They retract their heads and legs and curl into into a dehydrated ball called a ton. While in cryptobiosis, their internal organs are protected by a sugary gel called trehalose, and their metabolic activity can be reduced to almost 0.01% of the normal level. In this state, they also produce antioxidants, while a protein called DSUP, which is short for damage suppressor, further protects their DNA from levels of radiation 1,000 times over the lethal limit for humans and other animals. They can come back to life within a few hours of being reintroduced in water. In 2016, scientists brought back to life an egg and 2 tons that had been in cryptobiosis for over 30 years.
After the whale shark, the basking shark, also known as Ceterinus maximus, is the world's second largest species of fish. The largest known specimen was measured at approximately 40 feet and weighed almost 20 tons. One of the basking shark's most distinguishable features is its massive cavernous jaws, which are more than 3 feet wide.